Ciao Praga! How is it going? Are you having fun? Yes. So guys, welcome on stage with me. Europe, such a big continent. You know that we have 44 different countries, and I check it out. We speak more than 200 different languages, including local dialect and stuff like that. So there really is a language barrier to break. We have amazing content creators here on stage, representing Czechia, of course, Germany, Spain, and France. So the first question for you guys is this one. When did you start your educational channel and why? I'll go first. I started my podcast, Bitcoin Italia podcast, in 2019. And the reason why I did it is because everything in Italy was shitcoin, how can I scam you fast, right? So we needed proper Bitcoin education. What about you, guys?
Well, I started in 2019 as well with the Bitcoin channel. It's almost like 90,000 subscribers right now.
Awesome.
And I really saw this opportunity also to really introduce Bitcoin to to really popularize it, because in that times there were only I would say a little scientific articles and also a book, but not really a source of information for the normies. I saw that when I was trying to jump in 2017. So I actually try to make it happen, to make it more accessible to normal people, and yeah, here we are.
Roman, what about you?
Yeah, I started in 2018. It was just a hobby for me. I saw all this advertising shit on YouTube, and I thought that's not the correct way. We have a very innovation market here, but later on I realized when I making my content, it's not about crypto, it's more about Bitcoin, it's about Bitcoin only, it's about education, it's about changing the world, the narrative, what we have about money, and I become something we probably call the Bitcoin maximalist, but I would say today it's more on a very soft part, because I'm not toxic or something like this, but I'm definitely Bitcoin only, because I think it's very important for the people to understand that we have a new money, and this is a evolution of how people are coming together and going in a cooperative way. So now we are the largest German-speaking educational Bitcoin channel and platform. And on this part, I want to say thank you for my team and thank you for the community. And I'm so excited to see so great YouTube creators from all over Europe. Thank you at this point for this.
Thank you. Luna, yeah.
So I started in 2018 with my show, with the podcast, and it was kind of a selfish act. I was falling down the Bitcoin rabbit hole and also the shitcoin rabbit hole. And then I decided to create the show just to learn and to share what I was learning. And that's how it has been since then. Of course, this first shitcoining time, I suppose many people go through it. I know that not you, Rikki. But yeah, that finished fast, and since then it's been a hell of a ride. And it's a process of content, continuously learning, and it's amazing. I love it.
We're just beginning, bro.
Yeah.
Rogzy.
I started on the first day of COVID. So basically before I was giving classes to high school to teach them about Bitcoin. Suddenly decided I couldn't do that anymore. So I thought, let's create a YouTube channel. And also the main motivation was like you guys, the biggest YouTuber at the time was a shitcoiner. He had a tutorial on Ledger where he was lying. He was saying the coin was on the Ledger, which obviously we all know it's wrong. And I thought that if I need to send my family, my friends, and everyone to a safe, secure place to learn about Bitcoin, it cannot be him. So I need to get on and do something. Set up my phone and started the first video. And since then, yeah, Découvre Bitcoin is the #1 educational channel for the Francophonie about Bitcoin. And yeah, thanks to the team and happy to be here.
Great. So guys, I think, I don't know what you think, I think I am a storyteller. We are storytellers, right? And Bitcoin is something very complex, right? You can tell Bitcoin in so many different ways: sound money, digital gold, privacy money, censorship resistance. In my work, I like to say that Bitcoin is like YouPorn. Everyone has his favorite category on YouPorn, right? So you have to understand what your audience wants to hear. Here in Czechia, what's your audience is more interested about it when we talk about Bitcoin?
I mean, a little bit of everything, I would say, but I started with the introduction to Bitcoin when you need to cover the basic technical stuff to really understand how it works, like the blockchain, proof of work, and also tell people what money actually is, because many people still don't understand it. So you also need to cover a little bit of economics. I also do some podcasts and interviews with economists, and also do C-level executives from the companies here in Czech Republic. So yeah, the topics are actually really broad, and I mean, for the Czechs, I would say still it's a investment, so mostly the digital gold narrative. So that's also true. But I mean, the topics are really broad, from the economics to technical side to philosophical side to the freedom, because in Czechs are really we know what freedom is or isn't, because about communism here for 40 years. It's also a great topic to start with that, with freedom, what money means for freedom. So yeah, you can really cover many topics on my channel. Yeah.
Awesome. Roman, what's going on in Germany?
Yeah, I think what's going on when we talk about Bitcoin, it's always talking about one topic, and this is the truth. So I think the truth about everything, about economics, about physics, about technique, about all these things. And if you always be true and authentic, you're in the end landing on Bitcoin, right? So if you talk about Bitcoin, it's important to talk about the truth, because if you do this, you are inevitable like Bitcoin. All the shitcoiners will fall, everyone will fall, or he will become a Bitcoiner. That's the way, that's the Murphy's Law. And I think this is the reason why you are coming from topic to topic. And the point is, when you realized Bitcoin can't fail in a technical way or in a cryptographic way or in a physical way, you probably not understand the economic part, and you think, okay, probably there Bitcoin could fail, and you have to deep dive in this parts. And every time I deep dive in these parts, I have my own mind-blowing moments. And this is the moment I start my camera and I tell my audience about this, and they have the same feeling. And I think this is the feeling which brings us together here in this great event, right?
Totally, yes. What about Spain, Luna?
Well, Spain and the Spanish-speaking world, I would say that they are hardcore. And at least from my perspective, that's what I became when I realized what's the meaning of Bitcoin, and but not only thinking in the actual economy, but also from the history of money and what we have been doing since the 70s in the cryptography world. And I think that the whole Spaniard world became very hardcore. They want to be responsible. They want to take control. They want to let the state without power. And yeah, they are really interested in privacy. Of course, there is people interested in investment, but I would say that people who I talk to and so on is people that is really looking to opt out and use the fuck you money, basically.
Okay, fantastic. Yes, Bitcoin is fuck you money.
Yeah, a bit like Luna. The French, we love revolution, so obviously...
and cutting heads.
Hopefully one day. Lagarde, be careful. No, yeah, we focus a lot on privacy, full node runnings, a lot of hardcore, more advanced cryptography. The thing we did with Decode Bitcoin is that we opened up the channel to everyone. Since I'm not too technical, we let other people do courses on cryptography, node management, Austrian economics. So we really have a very large scale of educational content. So we don't simply say every single week, hey, number is going to go up. We don't talk about the price almost never, but we always try to go more deep into the technical aspects. Even though we don't get a lot of view, that's where it matters. That's the signal. And we want really hardcore Bitcoiners that do use Rogzy, Samurai, and really run the node and don't trust verify. So yeah, pretty happy of the community. Really committed to create the revolution from the bottom up, and the community is really showing that.
We're going to talk about it later.
Yeah, I know.
Bitcoin is growing so much and so fast. There is a lot of innovation. Actually, the real innovation is on Bitcoin, not on shitcoin. Now we have also the Lightning Network, the second layer. Finally, instant transaction, and we can buy coffees in a second through the Lightning Network. What's the rate of adoption in your countries? Is it picking up?
I would say so. I mean, I remember the times with the first conferences here in the other city, Ostrava. The first time we really want to try it there, it was failing, not really working. You know, the experience was like really bad for the newcomers, and there was not like good marketing for Bitcoin. Right now, I would say like everything is working like properly. You can buy coffee, beer here with no problems at all. Also, like the biggest retailer in Czech Republic is actually accepting Bitcoin and Lightning payments. Amazon is not really present here, so the biggest one is Alza.
Oh, really?
And, yeah. So the biggest retailer in Czech, so you can buy like computers and peripherals, everything you gotta what's going on in your mind, you can probably buy there. And also yesterday it was actually announced that one of the companies that is doing this innovation that you can pay your bill in a restaurant just scanning a QR code, and then you can just pick what you had and just pay that. So they added the support for Bitcoin Lightning. So there are like many places right now, like restaurants, there where you can just pay with Bitcoin right now. So this is like really getting better and better. And there's always this problem with the chicken and egg, because if the retailer doesn't support Bitcoin, you cannot pay there. And if you want to pay there, they probably don't support it. But this is like getting better I wouldn't say bear market, this is a build market, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think we have to move to Czechia. What about Germany? How's adoption?
Germany is doing great. I think the German adoption is way better than the political understanding of what the technical future will be, and that makes me very bullish. Yeah. When we see on the node count, we are comparable to the USA, so we have similar node counts like the United States of America.
You guys have a massive community in Germany. I was impressed.
Yes, it's very big. I think my channel, just my channel, are 140,000 subscribers, but my node videos, my installation tutorials, watched over 60,000 times. So I'm very bullish on the German Bitcoiners, or German speaking, because I have to say it's not only Germany, it's a whole DACH area like Switzerland and Austria, but it's totally great. I think there could be more merchants, but this is also rising, and I think it's important that everyone is going into this little tech, and it's not so hard today. The people think that, but it's okay, and it's our job to bring this to the people, right?
True.
Yeah.
Spain is great because we really started to organize ourselves. And I can see that adoption is growing. We, inspired by 21, kudos for that. When I saw them last year, what they were doing with communities, we started 2140 meetups, this is how it's called. And then Spain was quite a shitcoinery country. And you can see now the meetups, there was a need, no? And it's similar than Germany, that we need...
21?
It's similar. I wanted to say that you were mentioning that merchants would be more appreciated to have more, but these meetups are making more merchants to start accepting Bitcoin. And also something very interesting in Spain. Of course, I keep on doing my podcast and my job. Let's say Satoshi is then sending me the pay at the end of the month, the same as you. And but what is happening is that famous YouTubers are starting to take the orange pill.
Oh, really?
Yeah. and then they are talking Bitcoin all the time.
What kind of YouTubers? What they do?
They start these kind of YouTubers that they talk how bad is everything politically,
Okay.
and they are seen like they just post a video and it immediately has 20,000 plays, and after a few days 200,000. These kind of YouTubers. There is one famous one, Mark Vidal, shout out for him, and he became a Bitcoin bull, and you can see that the people, regular people, mothers, grandparents, they're starting to ask. They're coming to me and saying, look, I barely know how to use my phone, but I want Bitcoin. I know what it means. CBDCs are coming, and this is what I see. So this is, again, like Jakub was saying, that this is always a bull market in Czech. In Spain now is a bull market of a newcomers. It's amazing.
That's good news.
Yeah, we got a bit the same story with Spain. We started doing meetups basically the same time, coming from Reher when we talked with Gigi. And so France was doing okay, but very steady, very slow growth. And we took the community and we told them, all right, guys, we're going to do meetups, and we're going to do meetups every single month in every single city of the country at once. And it actually blew up, and we went from 3 meetups to 45 meetups. And everywhere they communicated. And so the people locally said, hey, we want a bar that accepts Bitcoin. And so we really saw the BTC map going from almost no commerce to 1-2 commerce in every city, because it's the local community that go and orange peel the merchant themselves. And if you do that, well, they're going to go back and spend sats. Because the problem is that when you travel and you orange peel one bar, you're not going to come back. And at some point, that merchant is going to stop at accepting Bitcoin because there's no traffic. However, if you just focus on a barbershop, a bar, restaurant in your city, and you have a strong community that goes there once a week, once a month, and organize events, then it's going to create a circular economy. And you don't need to be far away. You just need to literally do it in your own city. So in France, we really managed to do that. And Dekouv Bitcoin is helping spread the word. We print flyers for merchants. We distribute free resources for the communities to share to the bar. So we try to arrange people that this way. It's working, but it's slow. And like we talk, we need to start spending, guys. Like honestly, if we do not spend, it's never going to work. Like,
I'm a big hodl plus spend plus replace advocate. What about you guys? Are you hardcore hodlers, or do you spend some sats?
Both, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's always both. I think the Bitcoiners are not frugalists. They're more focused on quality and good decisions on the market, right?
At the same time, though, when you speak about spending sats, some of those hardcore hodlers, they are very offended. And it's very hard to tell them, listen, I'm stacking sats as well. My savings are in Bitcoin. I'm not saying spend your entire fortune like you in Bitcoin. What about spending 10,000 sats, 50,000 sats each month? This is how we bootstrap a circular economy. Otherwise, nobody's gonna use this beautiful protocol.
But I would say stacking sats and hodling is using Bitcoin. I think there are different use cases. Anita Posch today had a great talk, and she made a graphic where you can see that in Europe it's more the hodling part, more the store of value, and in Africa it's more medium of exchange. And I think those parts are using Bitcoin on their way. But I'm definitely with you. I think we need a lot of merchants. We not really have to use Bitcoin in this moment right now for the money, but there has to be the acceptance for this. This is a big
Yeah. Also because we mentioned the Lightning Network, right? There is a lot of innovation in the Lightning Network. And those companies that are developing on the Lightning Network, their business model is based on fees. So we need we need a lot of Lightning transaction because we need this business to be more attractive, because we need many more amazing companies developing groundbreaking technology on the Lightning Network, right?
Yeah, you can also think about the effect that the commerce is going to have on his own family and friends, which are entrepreneurs. Like we are a small circle of Bitcoiners, but when you orange peel a bar that is not on Bitcoin and you start seeing Bitcoins flow to his cold wallet every week, he's going to talk to other restaurants, he's going to talk to his community, and they're going to start thinking like, hey, why does he has more customers than I have? Why the bar which accept Bitcoin has all the Bitcoiners? So the other bar is going to accept, and that's how you're going to increase the number of merchants accept Bitcoin drastically, is when they're going to see the competition and think, if I don't accept Bitcoin, I'm losing a market share, which is the Bitcoiners. So it's you must spend and replace.
Also, I would say that like Lightning is really great when you try to orange pill someone. You know, hey, just buy a beer or something, and you can just, you know, I'm not giving that back to you in fiat. I will just send some Bitcoin to you. How is that? I don't know. I'm not really interested. But I just send it, you know, to some application, just install it, and once they have it on their phone, they're like, they're curious. They're checking it, like, what's going on with the price, you know. So this is like really great to do with maybe some sets you have. But I'm also on both of the sides when it comes to holding and stacking sets, but also spending. But I'm not really sold on the part when we should tell people what to really do. I mean, do whatever you want. If you want to hold, you want to save, you want to stack set, just do that. Want to spend, spend. But I mean, Bitcoin is like fuck you money. So if someone tells you what to do, you just go fuck yourself.
Absolutely, it's freedom. Yeah. Go on.
Lightning sats are way more comfortable to do payments. And sometimes it's not even just that you have to tell people you should spend your sats. No, it's just way more comfortable. So if you want to support your favorite content creators, or you want to get a service, you want to pay your VPN using Lightning, it's way more comfortable than using PayPal, than using your credit account, your bank account. So just which are your expenses this month? Is it going to be 50 euro, 60 euro? Buy sats. Get those services. It's way more comfortable. And also, you can support your favorite content creator. And another thing, Lightning sats are supercharged sats because they are not only monetary units traveling at the speed of light, they also can have a message. They also can allow you to connect very easily to your favorite content creator. And I can tell you, when you see that people is signaling, that is liking your content and is adding a message on the boost, you read them all.
Yes.
You get to know the people who is boosting you even 100 sats, which is, if you compare it to dollars, is like no value, not value now, but it will be definitely. But you get to know these people, you get to connect, and the signal is honest. It's not just a like on Twitter. It's a real, honest signal. The content that you did was good and gave a value to that person. So just use the sats. It's just better money for this use, and it connects you in a faster way.
Totally, yes. Let's run a poll with our audience. Raise your hand if you spend some sat every month. Well, all right. Good work, guys. Thank you so much for boosting the Bitcoin economy. Okay, you mentioned, I think, maximalism and toxicity. We are all maximalists, I think, on this stage. And do you think we still need maximalism in our content when you teach? What's your level of toxicity?
I mean, I really don't know. I think the audience needs to like, to rate that if I'm toxic or not. But for me, mostly this is about the truth, as Roman said. Because if you say, eventually all shitcoins will go to zero, like, is that toxic or is that true? Because for me, this is the truth. And I want to just communicate it to my audience. So it's really hard to like make a line where it's toxic and where it's true for me. Because I actually started as a shitcoiner. I was all the blockchain guy. I was like interested in all the stuff that blockchain can do. And then I switched because I like realized it doesn't make any sense. And this is what I try to communicate. And some of my audience didn't like it and leave because I was being toxic. But for me, this was just the truth. So yeah, I'm just speaking my heart on the channel, and this is what I do. And if you don't like it, just don't watch it. I'm sorry.
Exactly, freedom. Roman?
I think my hardest rabbit hole was a economy rabbit hole. Probably the physics, but more the economy. The economy part brought me to the Austrian economics, and in this case, I realized that this what the mainstream thinks about science is not what science is. Like the Austrians, they see science more like an you watch at a case and you realize what happened. You watch at people and you realize what they want. And you can do what you want with this information. And I try to be this person who watch like an Austrian economic people or a person at the market situation or at Bitcoin or at any case, and just being objective as it's possible for me and talk about what I see, and that's everything. And this is a totally different view from a fiat mindset, because the fiat mindset is changing everything you see. You see a matrix. You are in a matrix where money spending from central banks, from governments, from politic people in different market shares, and they're changing the truth. And so being just the observer, the person who is watching at all these things, you can bring the people another view on all this. And I think if you are objective like this, you are zero toxic, right? It's just the truth.
Makes sense. Luna.
No, I think being toxic was really necessary, or more necessary in the past. I think that we all have to be toxic constantly when people lie. And there is a lot of shitcoins that they still lie, and some people get scammed, and that's when we really need to be toxic. And there is also Federal Reserve or European Central Bank also lying, and that's when you have to be toxic. But in general, I try to listen to the person I have in front. I see a lot of people that is coming with doubts, and maybe they come shilling a shitcoin, and I try to listen and answer correctly and politely, because maybe they are just confused. I'm just trying to guide them and so on. Okay, if they are not confused, if they are just scamming, then it's the moment to be toxic. So this is what I try to be. I'm politically correct normally, listen, but yeah, there is a moment to be toxic, and we need to keep being toxic, because if we are not toxic, then they will create a lie that people will believe, and that's what we cannot afford.
But I think no lie will stay forever, and probably it's okay to make a mistake and to fall in a lie, and the scammer is probably happy because he stole all the money. I don't think you can stop this, and I don't think you can change this. It's more like it will make you depressive because you can't change this. And I think people don't want to hear the truth if they believe the lie, and probably they just hate you for talking the truth. So probably don't be toxic at this moment. It's better. What do you think on this?
On which part?
On the part, don't be toxic if someone's lying. Just calm down and
No.
let it happen.
No, but it's not a toxic. I'm not harassing them. I'm just saying publicly that's a lie, and because of this,
Okay,
of that.
that's the truth, but that's not a toxic.
You will fall. I mean, it's up to you, and it's up to the people who is reading your tweet and believing you. But yeah, I will not shut up and say, oh, it's just a stupid guy saying this thing. No, I will tweet, and I'll be toxic, and oh, you maximalist, whatever. Yeah, okay. That's what I think.
We all live the same situation. What about you, Rogzy?
I guess it's a bit different. The channel is really Bitcoin only, and from the start, it was the idea, meaning that the first video ever published was a crypto scam in the industry to one. We only have 2 videos about why Bitcoin, and because people were asking, why don't you talk about something else? Why don't you talk about something else? So I created 2 videos to explain, and that's it. And out of the 300 videos that we have, we never talk about our coin, and we are never toxic, we just ignore them. And people get it, and they know that if you go to Decode Bitcoin, we're never gonna be toxic, and we're never gonna chill anything else at Bitcoin. So it's really a mark of, yeah, we respect them, but we just ignore them. It's 2 different industries. Recently we've been toxic for one topic, and it do go with what you say about truth. It's about a ledger. And Ledger lied. They lied to us, and we really wanted to be vocal about it because all the other French media kind of lied again and hid what was happening. And so, as the only Bitcoin media out there, we spoke on the podcast and really said, "Hey guys, there's something wrong. The communication was awful. We need to understand." And so that was like you say, an extreme situation. We do want to really step up and explain to the crypto world what's really happening because they don't have the info. Like literally all the crypto media are lying, and that was really frustrating for our community. So we went forward and we've been toxic on Ledger.
It's a big responsibility, right? Please.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of noise out there, a lot of FUD out there, and if we want to bring Bitcoin to the people, we have to bring the signal to the people. And I think we shouldn't be too toxic. The toxic behavior is noise in the end. And if you focus on the positive sides of Bitcoin, on the great things Bitcoin could change and bring us, you don't have to be toxic because it's so positive. And there's no place for toxicity in the end when we are there. I think the toxic part is when we see the fiat system and we become angry, but we don't have to because there's such a great solution.
So yeah, okay, let's do this. Let's bring the devil on stage. For example, there has been a lot of talk about ordinals, stamps, pseudo NFTs on Bitcoin.
The future.
Exactly. What's your take on this matter, and are they popular among your audience?
Okay, here we go. Ordinals. I'm pretty known here for my view on NFTs, like before even Ordinals came in. I don't like it, and I was like really glad that this shit was not happening on Bitcoin. And then Ordinals came, and you know, I don't like it, but I completely support if you want to write it on blockchain, if it's okay with the rules, you have to fees to pay, you have the money to pay the fees, then you're like free to do that because it's okay with the protocol. You have every right to be stupid. But I am free
it's an open market.
But I am free to express that I think this is stupid. But yeah, if you just need to write monkeys and frogs on blockchain, I don't really see the use case for that. But as I said, this is a free market, and if you pay the fees, just put there anything you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roman?
I think ordinals are a good push for Bitcoin for the communities that are not in Bitcoin. But I think in the end, it's what you say, Jakub. If you pay the fees and it's so profitable for you to pay fees to store pictures on a very inefficient database, do it. It will make mining more efficient, the miners more efficient, they get more money, the network is growing. In the end, we use more Bitcoin for this. We have more Bitcoin exchange because someone has to pay fees and someone else can pay this money and so on. But yeah, I think ordinals, we saw some interesting takes from the BSVlers. So like Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, it's such a coin from
Scam.
From
shitcoin.
Yes.
It's called shitcoin.
Yeah, it's called shitcoin. And I think these guys thought they win because they now developing ordinals stuff on Bitcoin, and you think, no, Bitcoin won. You are back, guys. What do you think? Why you are not on BSV?
Fluffer boys.
Yes, these guys. So in the end, this is what I talked about before. Bitcoin is inevitable. In the end, all come back to Bitcoin. And they can still be wrong and think it's good to have a not trustless product on the blockchain, which is trustless. The blockchain is trustless, but not the product. But this will bring nothing to you. And you just pay your money to the more intelligent people on the market. So it's okay.
I see Luna smiling back there.
No, because there has been some controversy in the Spanish world around this. And the first time that you hear about ordinals, I did a couple of shows about it. And you felt that somebody made Bitcoin dirty. This was like the first feeling, like what's happening, why it's happening, Segwit, Taproot, what's here? No? And then you stop, you calm down, you try to study and analyze everything. And for me, it was really like a good thing to see is the stamps. And you realize that these people are doing more or less the same as Ordinals, but they are paying all the fees. They are using technology pre-SegWit, and they are nevertheless putting information in the chain because they are paying the fees. And then you realize that Bitcoin is zeros and ones, and this you can fake a public key and you can put information there. And then you realize that if people want to put garbage inside the chain, they will do it. They will do it. And then you evaluate, what do we do then? Do we take Taproot out just to screw Ordinals people? But nevertheless, stamps will still exist and other shit will still exist. So really, do we want to lose Taproot, music, and all these beautiful things that Taproot enabled? Do we want to now start changing and eliminating the SegWit discount, which we also use and we also benefit from? Look, a monetary transaction in Bitcoin is thin as fuck. So in any situation that the market of fees goes to skyrockets, we're thin, we're not heavy like them. So even in those situations, we will be able to do our monetary transactions because we are light, but they not. So really, let the market clean them out.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I definitely agree with Luna. Mostly what we saw in France too, a lot of people got buzzed, then we explained them calmly the tech, the aspect, the pro and cons, and everyone made their choice. At the end, the market decided, and you cannot change it anyway because we're not going to remove it, let's be honest. From the community perspective, what I can see is that a lot of shitcoiners came into Bitcoin by that BA, because they were always like, you cannot do anything on Bitcoin. They don't even know Lightning exists. And suddenly they thought like, hey, you can do a lot of stuff on Bitcoin, why? And so they got into the channel, they started studying. So the only good thing we got out of that, more or less, that a lot of shitcoiners started realizing that Bitcoin is actually evolving and we can do way more than they thought originally. Besides that, honestly, 3 months after, no one talks about it in my channel anymore. So it's good.
Awesome.
And the funny thing is that I saw some hate from shitcoiners because now the NFT things was going to Bitcoin, and then now nobody is buying shit in Solana and so on, and they were like, fuck, what should I do now? Yeah, I'm sorry.
And Bitcoin is never offline, unlike Solana.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Exactly. Tell me, what about clowns wearing wizard hats and dancing on Bitcoin stages?
I mean, up to them. If they really like to do that, it's up to them.
I wonder why there are no clowns here in Prague. I tell you why, because this is a Bitcoin conference, right?
Okay.
I think it's okay when clowns are dancing on the stage, because it's just unmasking what people are behind this great innovation like Ordinals. So it's okay. Yeah. Let them do this. It's okay.
Okay, we are all indie podcasters or content creators. We started our own channels with our own time and efforts. And most of the time, at least in Italy, we have to try our best to fight the mainstream media information that it's in Italy the worst. Literally, they are constantly A, lying, B, being misinformed, probably keep lying. What's the situation here in Czechia? How are the media?
Yeah, it actually got really like better. But I mean, right now they don't really
I gotta
care.
move here.
Yeah. Right now they don't really care. When the bear market hits and the price do just nothing, they don't really care. But I've been to many like TV shows, and the hosts are like really educated right now, not really lying about anything, and I'm sometimes really surprised the level of knowledge about Bitcoin and other stuff. This time I've been in a morning show, and the host asked me before we started rolling, so how's the Terra Luna situation going on? It was like last year.
Yeah.
So he was like really educated what's going on, and yeah, it went really great, and he really wanted to. They're asking questions about mining, about the ecology, and really like trying to spread the message in an honest way. So I was really impressed, but still, like most of the articles and the TV reports come out when the price does something up or down. Like right now, it's just quiet, and I think this is just probably normal thing, how mainstream media works.
Lucky you guys.
Yeah, it's the same in Germany.
Germany
I
is the
think.
same?
Yeah, it's getting better and better. We have still very bad media about Bitcoin, right? FAT articles and so on, but it's going less, and there are more articles like, we talked so much about the bad sides of Bitcoin. But look, there's probably a good side on it, and so it's growing better from show to show. And if you see what the people which are critic on Bitcoin are talking, so in the most cases they growing disbelief for what they say, and in the end more and more very neutral or Bitcoin voices which are positive for Bitcoin are in the mainstream media, and I think I'm bullish. It's probably better and going better in the future.
And also, like the inflation rate, raised some questions even for the hosts of the shows. So when they invite you, you have this like great opportunity to speak about how this impacts Bitcoin, and so you have the problems of fiat money is the greatest marketing for Bitcoin.
Yes, I second that. Yeah.
So Spanish media is bad, really bad in general, probably like Italy, but they are losing badly because people is realizing, and it's been I would say like 1-2 years, that people is moving to other platforms. And I'm not only talking about young people. I see my father watching more YouTube than TV nowadays, and then other people is also watching Twitch. They are finding the better content, no? And then they are losing mass media is losing because people is not watching them or is watching less than it used to be. I know from people inside working there, they struggling with advertisers because they don't have the place anymore. They don't have the audience anymore. People is going to see the same people but saying the truths in YouTube. And that's what is happening. And in YouTube, you have more YouTubers speaking about Bitcoin. So I don't know which is the mass media nowadays. Is it what you see on TV, or it's not anymore that? Maybe it's starting to be podcasts, starting to be YouTube channels, and so on. That's becoming more the mass media. So for the classic mass media, it's very bad. For the coming up new mass media, is quite good.
Awesome. France is bad.
Yeah, it's super bad. It's really shit.
Maybe it's a Latin.
Yeah, I was going to
Probably
say.
there is something wrong with Latin languages. Yeah, it's the hands.
It's pretty terrible. They lie, they manipulate. Even when I get into TV, they cut all the part I say to keep just one sentence, like Bitcoin crash. And that's the only thing that show on national TV.
Yeah.
No, it's they don't even try. We try to talk to them. We try to teach them, explain them. They don't want to listen. They have their argumentation. Euro is the money. The CBDC is coming. Privacy is bad. It's a political disaster. All the Ponzi that you know, they will shove it down every single day on TV if they could. We are years away from you two guys. Like honestly, it's not from them that we're going to change anything in France.
Very quickly, guys, because we are running out of time. It's so early in Bitcoin. We need more podcasters. We need more content creators. A quick advice to someone that is watching this and maybe wants to start his own channel.
Just go ahead and try that. I mean, your first video will be shitty. That's just normal situation, but you have to start with something. So I would say don't overthink that, just try that. You need to get used to all the technical stuff, how to produce it, how to cut it, how to, to put it on YouTube. And you just need to try that. And maybe this will not work for you, but you need to try. So do not overthink it and make a video.
Roman,
Yeah, I think there are so different entries for the Bitcoin rabbit hole, and everyone has his own entry. And I think you have to share this, talk about Bitcoin, make a podcast, make videos, whatever you want, because I think it's good, and do this in your country, especially in probably France when the situation is so bad. Try to bring signal and all the noise, and every signal is good, and you have less noise at the end. So do it.
Just do you, do what you like. Forget about what you should do. No, eliminate should. Just do you. Do the format that you like. Talk about what you like, and people will come. And forget about monetization. Like, do as a hobby. Do as a hobby.
Have
and
fun.
Have fun.
Have fun.
And if all that works, everything will come.
Yeah, different. Yeah, body crusher. I'm not gonna agree. I agree if you want to really create something that is your own, you really want to grow. For sure, all of those are great advice. Regarding Bitcoin, please don't recreate the wheels. Like at some point, we need to advance. We need to advance education. We need to have a high technical content for developers. We need to stop doing Bitcoin 101. Like it's great to do a tutorial on Blue Wallet, but we already have Bitcoin tutorial on Blue Wallet in every language. Try to see what is missing in your language, in your community, and build what is missing. And even just like three videos on Sparrow, that's better than nothing. And like you said, try it, do it. If you see people like your video on Sparrow, do cold card, do something else. But my advice would be like, if you want to contribute to Bitcoin space, you don't need to create a full YouTube channel, post 2 videos a week for 10 years to get traction. Just look what is missing, contribute to the education space, and quit Facebook or YouTube if you want just after. It's fine.
Yeah, fill the gaps.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, one quick question for you, Luna and Rogzy. You have an even bigger responsibility because your podcast, your contents are in Spanish. So you, Luna, speak to a huge market in Central America, in South America. And you, Rogzy, speaks in French. All Alpha Africa speaks French. So you guys talk to the emerging markets, those who probably needs Bitcoin the most. You're getting a lot of feedbacks from those areas. You're learning something new from them.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot because basically they know what is coming to us. They come from the future. Argentina is coming from the future. Venezuela is coming even more from the future. So yeah, I learn a lot. I try to share as much as the knowledge that it can be helpful for everybody in general. But I can only say thank you to all of them because I am the one learning.
Awesome. What's going on in Africa?
Africa is doing great. A lot of adoption from the francophone space. We're really happy. We see like first lightning nodes popping up. So with like our courses, they could have the first node in Benin. They're really trying to push adoption with local meetups, following the same thing we did and with the GG. So we see the adoption coming. They learn. We learn from them because definitely it's not the same market. It's not the same tools that we need to build. And we get feedback from them so we know what we can teach them, how we can create stuff that they will need and vice versa. So it's really good to see them. And there's some great North African podcasts that do the news or really spread the word locally too. So I'm really happy to see that from just one Bitcoin-only YouTube channel, we now have multiple of guys trying to do it on the ground.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, the voices of Bitcoin in Europe. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much.